Hey On The Clock fans, you're listening to another episode with your hosts Raul Lascano and George Martinez as they square off and tackle all of today's hot topics in sports news, trends, current issues happening locally and nationally, as well as highlighting some of our local student athletes across the Sunshine State. Now, welcome your hosts, Raul Lascano and George Martinez. You're On The Clock.
Hey, On The Clock fans, I got a special guest, man. I got the man, the myth, the legend here in Tampa, Florida. I got Mr. James Wilder joining the show, man. If you don't know who he is, you know him now. What up, James? What's going on, man? How you doing, sir? How you been?
What's up, fellas? What's up? How y'all doing, man? Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, man, taking the time out. First, I got to ask you, how have you been? How's your family during this pandemic craziness? Man, I want to make sure everybody's okay. How you been doing?
Right, man. Everybody's healthy, man. We're all negative right now with COVID, so we're up-spirited. We're healthy. We're staying out the way. Following protocol the best way we can and live life normal the best way we can right now. But yeah, man, we're blessed. We're healthy, man. I hope you guys are the same.
Yeah, man, we're doing pretty good, man. How does it feel being back in Tampa, man? How does it feel being back at home and watching the city grow, man? What's going on?
Man, it feels great. The city definitely grew. A lot of new bridges, buildings, interstates. I'm like, freeways and stuff. It's good to be back home, man. You know, as you guys know, or if you guys don't know who's listening, I've been gone the last 3 years. I went to Canada, the CFL after the NFL, and I fully committed and stayed there full time. So when I came back to Tampa, it was always just for like 1 week or, at a time. Right. And I might have got a little bit of homesick, man, because it feels good just to be home. Like I said, I might not even leave the house. I may just walk the beach or just sit at the pool or whatever it is, just training. It just feels good to get this sunshine weather, just to be back in Florida close to family, man. It feels great.
That's what's up, man. And trust me when I tell you, I know people around who've been buzzing around talking about James Wilder's back, man. And I've been looking at Twitter and Instagram, and I've been watching the Get Wilder Academy, man. And it's dope, man. It's great what you're doing for the city, man. Where did you come up with the idea? Have you always thought about doing that, or is it just something that sprung up, man?
Man, to be honest with you, man, this has been a vision. Like, if you would have asked me when I was a kid, they would have asked me, what do you want to do? I always said I want to play in the NFL, and then once I retire, I want to make my own academy. And then when I start to see it more like LeBron doing it and RIP Kobe Bryant, but Mamba Academy doing it and seeing all these academies, it just gave me more of the vision of how I want to take it. And here I am. I'm retired. I'm young still. I feel like I can relate to these kids. So I feel like it's an advantage for me to, to bring them in and help these kids and give them the exposure and mentor these kids.
That's what's up, man. And again, I saw some of the top athletes out there, man. I saw a whole bunch of talent out there, man. I'm looking at this like, if this is the starting group, I can just imagine where it's gonna grow at, man, because you got some ballers out there.
I want to ask you, I know you're on day 5, day 6 of Get Wilder, getting out there and getting open. Talk a little about the academy, what services you guys are going to provide, what are you guys doing out there for the kids? And then most importantly, towards the end there, where can they find you as well?
Oh, for sure. Right now, the website is actually being made. The website will be officially up on Sunday.
Nice.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm turning my social media, since it already has a big following. I'm turning my social media to the actual page itself. I'm talking with the support team on Instagram about changing my name from James Wilder to Wilder Sports Academy. Right now, we're going back and forth because you're verified and you have to go through all this verification. But I'm doing that. So yeah, you'll be able to. But for the meantime, I mean, we're doing RSVPs we're having appointments. Everybody's getting in early because for the meantime, I'm gonna cut it off at 100 kids, and I already got 40. I think I got 47
man,
or something.
Yeah, 40 kids already.
Man, it's blowing up fast. So what I'm doing is we're gonna try to make it very, like I said, we got professional athletes. Steven Garcia, he's our quarterback. He's also a Temple legend. He's one of the
played at Jefferson.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. Exactly. And he's a one of the best quarterback coaches in Central Florida. For the linebacker coach, I'm doing the linebacker coach. I play linebacker. I think I know what it takes. Running back coach, I'm doing running back coaches as well. You guys know Juice. You guys may know Juice. He's self-made. He's self-made, and he's done a phenomenal job with these kids, and his influence and actually what he's teaching is very, is very professional. So we have him. He's doing our skills for the DBs and the receivers out there. And then I'm Bobby Richardson. We have Bobby Richardson on the D-line. He went to Plant. He played, I think, 4 years in the NFL. Yes, 4 years in the NFL. And I'm still on the search for a kicking coach and offensive line coach. I'm preferring all coaches who has experienced the pros, where I can provide, that atmosphere where you're getting trained by professional athletes. Everybody's going to be a professional athlete. I just want to bring the best of the best under one roof of coaching. But what we're doing is we're going to coach from 6 years old all the way up. It's not just for sports. Like I said, we're doing for you guys, man. If you guys ever want to get out, we're doing boot camps. We're going to be doing online boot camps. We're going to be doing in-person boot camps, for the general public as well. We have the weight room that's getting invested right now. That's probably they got to gut out places. They got to find it. The investors got to deal with the contracts and all that stuff. So that may take, as you guys seen on my Instagram, that may take like 90 to 120 days just to get that all going and gut it out for. In the meantime, I'm finding a place to lease. A place to lease out where I can get a couple of racks, like 4 or 5 racks in, a couple of treadmills, turf it out, where we can bring some guys indoors as well for the meantime. And what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing mentorship. We're going to be showing kids how to watch film, how to study playbooks. It's going to be, it's going to prepare them for the next level and what it takes to be a pro. We're going to be teaching 6-year-olds, kids like Blaze, Rudolph, little Blaze, teaching him how to watch film and, teaching everybody how to watch film and how to be a pro at whatever level they're at now. Mentorship. These are guys that, they got our numbers, our personal numbers. Like I wish when I was a kid, I had freaking all these professional athletes saying, hey, here's my personal number, hit me up whenever. We're providing that. We have a whole bunch of humble athletes. We're actually providing that for our athletes here. And also at the same time, we're going to be providing, these kids are trying to get scholarships. They're trying to get their name out. We're blasting them out all over social media. At the same time, I'm already talking to a couple colleges. I don't want to say these colleges, but big D1 college. Well, I'll say it for you, George. The Gators have already reached out to me. It's tough. Trust me. It's
about
tough.
By the time they reach out.
it's tough talking to these guys, man. It is tough talking to these guys. But at the same time, I'm doing what's best for the kids. I have a couple D1 colleges, D2 colleges reaching out about these kids. So I'm in the talks of trying to get a bus provided where we can start getting these kids. Like for example, they're not doing anything till August with these colleges. Talking to these colleges with visits where they don't have to do Zoom calls. So I'm going to be working on a way to take them down. Yeah, you too, Raul. Take them down to Miami, FAU. Taking them all these Florida schools to be able to take them on visits and have things. I feel like I have the resources. I know the right people, the right network to get the right donations, to get all these things happen where it's just not, what I'm saying? I'm still human too. I'm not, I can't just be paying this. I got my own kids too at the same time, but I'm going to do my best to provide this for kids. And I want to be able to, like I said, I'm not in competition with any other gyms, but at the same time, I just want to provide this academy, do this for these kids. And at the same time, we're not breaking the bank. We're doing 4 times a week. 4 field sessions, unlimited weight room access, 1 time a week film study, unlimited access to mentorship. And we're all going to be doing that. We're going to have also businesses sponsoring kids who's less fortunate, who can't pay. But we're doing all of that with professional athletes for $250 a month, $250 a month, 16 sessions that average out to $15 a session. I feel like that's very fair. For the kids who, like I said, sometimes you know how it is. I'll never forget. And I wanted to go to a Mike Allstott camp so bad. And I remember it was like 2 something. And I was like, man, Mom, like make it happen. Kurt, you know Kurt. I was living with Kurt. I was like, Kurt, make it happen. He was like, Nat, like I can tell you everything, all stuff. You're not going to, I'm not paying you. I was like,
sit down. Sit down. No, let me talk to you for about 10 minutes. I'm going to tell you what they're about to go over in about 10 minutes.
Right.
Go and sit down. Grab a sheet of paper. I'm going to holler at you for a minute.
That's the treatment, so I mean, and it's I want to make this able for everybody, because there's a lot of kids who have a great opportunity but who's just not fortunate enough to play $250 a month. So I'm reaching out to different businesses as well to sponsor kids who's less fortunate, because I don't want to ever leave a kid out of opportunity just because their parents or their finances or their situation. So that's what we're doing at Wilder Sports Academy, and
I'm excited for it, man. So if I gotta sanitize the equipment, if I gotta sweep the floors, you know what I'm saying, I want to get behind
whatever you need.
Yeah, whatever you need, man. I'm there. I'm a guy that drinks beer and in Hot Pockets, so maybe we could be paid in Hot Pockets or something. But
I'll keep you a beer in the back office, man.
Oh, appreciate it, man. That's all I need, man. I'm good to go, then. That's it. I'm an easy win. That's how they got me to coach at Jefferson. They get me 15 chicken wings with fries. I've worked my way up to 2 sodas now because I'm a volunteer, and I'm a happy camper, man. I'm good to go.
Right.
I'm good to go. I don't need the money.
I appreciate the love, man. I definitely appreciate the support from you guys, man. It's definitely love, and it's vice versa. If you guys need me to do anything to help you out with whatever, I'm all in.
I appreciate it, man.
So talk to us a little about, so I know you're coaching over at Plant High School, running that coach there, going back to your alma mater. So how excited are you to be back coaching high school and with your kids over there?
I'm very excited to be able to go back to where I've played at. To be able to, it's no secret, Plant, the reputation Plant has, it hasn't been up to the standard of Plant football lately. So me being a competitor that I am, I'm definitely up for the challenge to be a part of something to get us back to being nationally known, and getting these kids to like I said, not just football wise, but getting these kids to the next level, to getting free education in college and mentoring these kids. I actually thought it would be a little hard to retire at 28 years old, but since I'm transitioning to coaching and being around kids and being around mentorship, that's always what I wanted to do my whole life. So the transition has been fairly easy, but I'm excited, man, to be able to get back. It's COVID right now, so I haven't been able to get back in the stadium, but once I get back in, man, I know I'll have the goosebumps, and I'll be one of the old coaches that hit these kids with the back in my day stories.
I got baptized, man, at Plant High School, man. And when I say baptized, we playing our spring game, and for whatever reason, it's 10 times louder at Plant High School than anywhere.
School.
Right. And I played college ball up in Virginia, and I played that's a loud school. I think the way they have the stadium with the bro, it feels like the band is on your face. Like I see the kids hitting the drums. I'm like, Jesus, it's like right here. So I got baptized quick, and and I saw the head coach Weiner over there jumping up, and he's a great coach, man. He's jumping up and down and high fiving kids. I'm like, he's having an excellent time, and I'm having a struggle to listen to my own headset.
To your own thoughts.
No, man, so loud. I'm getting the goosebumps. You just talking about the band, man. I used to love it. I was one of the players that, I go up to the fence, and I'm telling the band to get up, because they play a huge role at Plant.
Absolutely they do.
Like, like you said, it's loud. It's not like any other high school. The structure and the roof that we have over the stadium, I don't know the science to it, man, but obviously it's proven how loud it gets there with that band.
We had a switch. So when the spring game, you play the half, you rest, and you play another half. We switch sides, right? So when I'm underneath it, and I'm thinking, oh man, if it was loud across the field, I'm gonna lose my hearing being right here. And right bro, it didn't even happen that way. It's literally not loud on that sideline.
It shoots. That's what. Yeah,
it shoots across.
Yeah, it shoots. I'm like, whoever did that was a genius. What a genius.
It shoots across. You're exactly right, man. And I actually remember me and Coach Weiner, we were actually talking about it, and I was like, "Yo," I kind of thought, I was like, "Man, okay, Coach." I was like, "You're selling the stadium." Like, I was like, "There's no way it's doing that. And he was like, no, like really like test it out. So one day, the band does their practice, the band's practicing and they're in the stands. He was like, go over there and listen. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy.
It's misery. It is misery.
It's hell over there. It's not easy. It is not easy to coach kids. And that's where you wish that you're like, well, this is why they invented the headsets inside the players' helmets, which you can't do in high school, but you're like, God, you really want to try because, man, it's so loud there, man. But
well, heck, even after a series is over, the offense comes to the sideline. I'm sitting on the bench with my quarterback, and I'm talking to him, and I'm yelling as loud as I can for him to hear me. And he's like, huh? What are you saying, coach?
In front of him.
Yeah, and I'm right here in front of him. So luckily, our head coach has played at Plant for. It was my first year, similar to Raul's, going over to Plant, and he goes, listen, you better make sure you have hand signals for this game. Why? Listen, and bring earplugs because you're going to need them. And and I'm like, why? He goes, go hand signals. When you snap the ball, it has to be a signal to snap the ball. You cannot say hi. You cannot say go. The kids are not going to hear it. Are you for real? Yeah. Okay. So we go through the motions. We practice it all. We get out there and we're going through hand signals. And we kid you not, it was a shock to the kids. We had like 3, and again, that's what it's meant for. We had 3 or 4 false start penalties.
We literally had a speaker at practice behind the huddle, behind the offense, blasting the music. It was still louder. That stadium is still louder than that damn box that was behind us.
You can't.
Because we were trying to prepare the kids for the situation.
I know exactly what you guys are talking about, though, man. I really didn't think it was real for the people who's listening, man. If you haven't been to that stadium doing that, these coaches here, they are not lying. It's obviously the loudest place. Well, actually, besides Texas, remember we went out to Abilene.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Texas, they're like they got like 80,000 people.
They're on steroids. That's something else.
Those huge, man. Come on now. I thought I was the biggest high school kid, and then I see a whole defense looking like me out there. I'm like, what the heck?
Right. And I know playing high school is loud, right? And you're an FSU star, man, national champion. And again, we've talked before the show. Don't hold it against me. I'm a Hurricane guy. I love the Hurricanes, but look, I see you smiling. I'm like, oh God, thank goodness he's smiling. Like I don't want.
Well, he's smiling because they whooped your behind.
Oh my God,
it was.
Look, I gotta be honest with you.
Can they just hear or can they see too as well?
Oh no, they can't see, but they can hear you. He's doing the chop or the Seminole. I can play.
There it is.
I can do this all day. Yeah, man, I can do this all day, man. And I remember you. And this is crazy, man. I was gonna ask you a question, but forget the question. Now that we're in it, now that we're in it, I remember watching you, man. Stiff arm, every Hurricane helmet at your 6'2", 6'3" frame, just bodying people. I remember you pounding the football in from 5 yards out. On top of the fact that we were getting blasted 41-14. I remember your jersey was tucked underneath your chest, showing your back muscle and the abs flexing. And I'm like, we can't stop him. Like, dude's a monster, man.
Machine.
He was a machine, man. What I was going to ask you was, some of those games that you've played in college, man, what were some of your great memories of playing in college, man?
Man, and I'm not just saying this just because you're a big Miami fan, but those Miami games were always the most personal for me, just because the rivalry. And you know how, they got the string now. Like Florida State plays Miami, they have to jump from the sideline. But you remember back in the day, we used to get in each other's face before the game.
Yeah.
Right at the start line, like it's about to be a brawl. And we're from Florida. Half of the team that's in Miami is from Tampa, Orlando. Half of the team that's from Florida State, they're from Miami, like Freeman. He was my roommate before every game, and he used to tell me how much he hated Miami. I remember our freshman year, he was like, man, they didn't want to offer me and at first, and a lot of people there, they're calling me a traitor because I left Miami and stuff. So that being my brother, my best friend, I was like, well, if you hate Miami, I hate Miami. And if the school hate Miami, it's extra hate. So it's just all type of hate coming towards Miami. So
yeah, man.
That game was personal, man.
It was tough to watch, man. Listen, and I told you, you got to wear your, during those years, I had to wear my Hurricane stuff inside because Tampa is such a big Florida FSU community. I got my license plate. Guys are freaking doing Gator chomps or they're Seminoles. And I'm like, man, these dudes are wild, man. But I remember those games, watching you play, I'm not gonna lie to you. As soon as I saw you trot into the game, because I was scared of Freeman as well, a dynamic player. But I was like, we don't need Freeman. We don't need Wilder getting loose on us because it takes a toll on the body to watch a 6'3" guy truck you over, get up, point at you, because I remember,
do it again,
and then go line up and then do it 2 or 3 more. I'm like, yo, that's demoralizing, man. We can't stop this truck, man.
Right. One of the biggest memories, one of my favorite memories, besides the national championship, of course, is the Miami game. I don't know if you remember. It was at the Doak in Florida State in Tallahassee, and a fight broke out in the game. There were penalties called. I think we were on maybe the 10-yard line or something like that. The fight just broke out. Everybody in each other's face. Refs pulling us back, and literally the next play, I got a toss and I scored in the end zone in that corner. But more than just the touchdown, man. Just watching what went on that play. Nick O'Leary and my fullback and everybody just getting pancakes that play. It was. I'm sorry. I know you're not trying to hear this. That was one of my favorite memories because it was just one of those man, y'all really cranked us up type moments. And I think that was a 14 game.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I know the play you're talking about, man. Listen, I watched all those years, especially when you remember the horrible losses. You know what I mean? Like you remember the bad losses. Like, God, we're never gonna make this up. I've been able to talk a little crap lately. You know what I'm saying? I've been able to say some stuff lately. But in those days, man, your roster was Jameis Winston, Devontae Freeman, yourself. Your wide receivers, Kelvin Benjamin, Kenny Shaw was there, freaking Christian Green.
Nick O'Leary.
Yeah, bro, it was a stacked team. And then when the fight broke out, I said, and when I watched it on TV, I was like, bro, are they really going to fight them? Like, you're just tugging on Superman's cape. Stop. What, bro, I'm thinking about, so what's the mentality? We're not going to win the game. We're going to win a fight. Like, come on, man.
Right.
These boys can fight too.
Our whole team, except for Jameis, was from Florida too. So it was just, that's what made the rivalry lit, man. You know how Miami is. They're very Miami. They have so much pride down in Miami. As much as they're rivals, I do give them kudos that they have pride. You know, they have their Miami pride. And if they can keep their talent, Florida State, a lot of our guys were from Miami or from South Florida at least.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the thing. Usually when that fight breaks out, everybody knows each other.
Right.
Everybody there knows each other some way, somehow. Playing high school, little league, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. They all played each other at some point. So it's like, man, you've been waiting to find a way to get this out.
Yeah,
exactly. Man. And that rivalry even more bigger. Like you said, everybody knows each other. So, and then you got the cousins that knows both of them. And he said he's going for 200 this game. And he comes back to you and tell him he's going for 200. And then he's like, you sleep. I bet he don't get 100. And then, you know what I'm saying?
And that's how it starts. That's how it starts.
Every time we play Miami, it's always some story like that storyline. I don't know if it's broadcasted, but if you guys didn't know, it's always like one of those stories behind the scene that makes the rivalry even worse. I don't know if a rivalry can get any worse than Florida State. The tradition is, I love that. It's a traditional game. It's one of the well-known, nationally known games. That's one of the biggest rivalries. I haven't been quiet. I haven't been quiet these last couple of years. I've just been taking punches to the mouth and to all the memes or memes, whatever you call them, phone calls, text messages, voicemails. Everybody hits me up first because they know how much Florida State pride I got, man. So, like I said, I talked to Coach Norville the other day, and I'm excited that I'm excited about what they're doing. So when we play Miami, I'll actually be giving you a text before the game.
There you go.
That's what's up, man. And you know what? We might have to. I might have to bet a meal on it. We might have to bet a meal on it.
There you go.
Right, we have to.
Yeah,
it's only right.
Right, man. Bet a meal on it, and that's it, man. And when I say that, I don't even say it with confidence because I feel like I'm gonna be at this restaurant, man, with Wilder right next to me, like smiling, like this guy chose Miami, and man. But that's gonna be great with college football. A little bit, with college football and everything that's going on. I still hope they have that rivalry game. You know what I mean? I still hope we get to play because I give all the respect to FSU for staying on the schedule. I like to shoot over here to George, who's a known UF fan, open UF fan here.
Golly. Hey, how did we all three get on the podcast? How did this happen?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. But I think this can work, man. I think this can work.
It's it's working though. It's working.
It's working.
We're all from the same city.
That's right.
We all took different routes. You guys went the wrong way, but it's okay. It's okay.
It's like repenting, man. We went wrong, and then we coming to church, man. That's all it is. That's all it is. I give George crap all the time. I'm like, well, at least FSU stayed on the schedule. You guys duck us every 5 years, and then you don't want to play us or whatever the case is. And then, of course, he beats me the year that he plays. I'm like, God damn it, Miami.
And now you have 5 years the next.
Well, typically UF likes to give Miami some years to recover from the last butt
Whatever.
whooping,
Spurrier,
and they come
after
back.
Spurrier got into that
Unlike
fight.
FSU,
No,
FSU just comes back for the same beating up the little brother. It's what ends up happening every year.
Nah, man.
Okay, we just come back every 5
Spurrier had
years.
that fight with Miami, and he's never been the same. He canceled all. Once Miami and the Florida Gators fought at the Sugar Bowl, that was it. It was a wrap. He didn't want no more of that smoke. He was done. He was ducking us for 5 years at a time.
That got wild. Got wild.
So I want to take you back to before you even went to Florida State. I know for you, you're the top recruit in the country, right?
Yep.
Talk a little about your decision because you're pretty much between Florida State, Florida, and University of Georgia. What really made you make your decision to go to Florida State?
Well, I don't know if you guys remember. I actually committed to Florida for like a week.
Right. Oh, I remember.
Right. And then you found out that Miami was on the schedule, and he had to go. He went to FSU.
Yeah, I don't. I just had one of the worst weeks of my life. I came back to my senses. But
man, put the
sorry,
knife in me.
sorry, George.
Put the knife in me.
But no, I actually committed. Obviously, Urban Meyer was there. They had a great coaching staff. They had some things going on, uncertainty there, and I just felt like Florida State's just been showing love. I don't know if you guys remember, I was ranked high at offense, linebacker, and running back.
Yeah.
Urban Meyer was just like, he used to always tell me, I guess he thought I was going to play linebacker, and he used to always tell me, man, you're a linebacker, man. Look at your frame, look at your, I'll bring you in, but you're a linebacker. So then once I announced that I want to play running back, for sure, okay, look, I'm going to focus. I'm going to play both in high school, but I'm a running back. I'm focusing on running back. I'm doing my extra time training at running back. This is where I'm going to play at the next level. And then, he was saying the same thing that he was saying for linebacker, but just changed the position. No, you're a running back. I knew the whole time. You're. I was like,
Yeah, no, I feel you there. I don't blame you there at all.
Yeah. Florida State from the beginning, Jimbo and Coach Lawrence Dawsey, who was the recruiter, he would always just tell me, hey, man, we see your dad, we see your dad in you, you're that big frame, but, long torso, but whatever, you're a baller, and we would love to have you. You're powerful. And I committed early and started to recruit people, started for myself. I was like, listen, man, Carlos Williams was the #1 defensive player in the nation. He signed. I was the #1 offensive player in the nation. And we started. If you guys can get Timmy Jernigan, Calvin Benjamin, if you can get all those guys on, they'll all tell you, man, I went hard, getting these guys in. Let's keep it in the state. Why are we going to go out of state? Nick Saban, Alabama was actually in the mix. But Nick Saban just kept it G and was like running backs. He was like, if you come here, one thing I can promise you that you'll win the Heisman. But we're going to redshirt you. And, I wasn't trying to hear that either. So, Alabama running backs, they always turn out great. He probably wasn't hot. I just, at the time, I wasn't trying to hear redshirt at all. So, and then Georgia. My high school quarterback, Aaron Murray, my high school tight end, Orson Charles, they went to Georgia, and Plant was very Georgia-driven, and I was very close to going there as well. But like I said, I wanted to keep it in-state. I wanted to keep it home and put on for our home state.
That's what's up, man. And again, so just to ask you a brief question, Miami never offered.
Coach George, you said you played with Kurt. You need to talk up with Kurt with that. Kurt wasn't letting me go to Miami. He was like, nah.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Like, if the mail came in, that was going straight to the trash. That was never making it in.
I didn't
never making it in.
that was over with from the beginning, and I think it's a good problem to have for the reason he always explained to me. Though he just said, I don't know if you guys remember Robert Marv. Robert Marv went there.
Yes.
Charles almost went there as well, and the fear was just like Miami is just so Miami driven and Miami pride that a running back comes in from Miami. that was just the thing back in the day. That was the mindset. It was they're gonna play their guys, like they're gonna put on for their city, and it's kind of a good problem to have because for the Miami guys, it's a lot of talent coming out of Miami. But and then when you get top recruits, they know that too, and then they're just like, I mean, I don't even know how true that is, but I mean that was just the reputation back in the day. It was like, man, Miami, they're gonna look out for their Miami guys, you know.
Right.
All those guys are going to make sure the Miami guys are playing, you know, the homegrown. It worked out for Chicolo though, but you know, besides that though, Miami, I had no chance at Miami. I mean, I always like growing up. Everybody growing up was a Miami fan because you know the orange visor and you know on NCAA.
It was just a drip. The drip was nice.
Oh wait, you about to say the same thing?
On NCAA, I created my guy. I always put him on Miami because you want him to look fresh. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then you know came to reality. So
it's good, but it worked out great, man. It worked out great, and you're a Seminole legend, man. I was also going to ask you, and we'll switch to another gear, but I wanted to ask you, man, that national championship, man, that's powerful, man. It's something that can never be taken away. It's something that's since the COVID thing, all you see is the replays of great national championships, right? We, you know, me and George, we sat back and watched. We watched the 2005 freaking Reggie Bush versus Vince Young national championship.
Yes,
it was great. So yours came on just 2 weeks ago, man, and we were watching it, and I was like, man, he's a monster. I remember you standing up at the end of the game, freaking, you know, with the band and stuff. Like, man, this dude, it was.
I didn't go home, man. I didn't want. That was one of the best moments of. I don't know. It turned out great, man. The career-wise, I was actually saying this. It turned out great. I was able to win at every level. Like I was able to win a championship at every level, so I was able to experience that. I don't want to say but I was a part of a team that won at every level. But that college one was special because you know, obviously the high school ones is special. You know, the professional one, they're all special. Don't get me wrong, but you know, professional is more business. College, these are most of the guys that you're sleeping in the dorm with. You're struggling with. Talked about. Like me and Freeman, like we used to sit and look at the roof in the dark and just talk about, man, when we were freshmen, we were like, man, wait till our time comes. Like we're going to win a national championship. Like we spoke about it. And when it finally got to happen and way out in California, we're a whole bunch of kids. We never been out to California. Like we never been out of state for real. Like unless we travel, you know what I'm saying? Unless we travel into away games. So it was just a great experience all around. And the tradition they have in that stadium alone, just to be able to go there and it's a dream come true. Y'all know how big the game NCAA was. So when you create your guy, like it was a dream come true, man. That was one of my favorites of all time. Like I said, I was the last person off the field. I turned to the magician, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting the band going. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I was just in the zone, man. I'm making snow angels.
You're living the moment, man. You're living the moment. That's exactly what that is.
I still have a whole jar of confetti, of that confetti. Yeah, man. It's just something that, I plan to show my like great grandkids and kids and everybody. You know, like I said, I know for a fact I'm going to be that guy that, you know, back in my day, hey, come to my trophy case and let me show you.
Let me show you here.
Yeah.
You think you're special? Come on over here.
I've never played a national championship, but the biggest championship I had was high school. We played state championship. We actually played in the Florida Gator Stadium, which was nice. But my mom, so we didn't get confetti. So what I did was I cut out the field. I cut out the field and I kept it. Yeah, and I kept it. I was like, I'm gonna put this in a Ziploc bag. And 2 weeks later, my mom threw it out, looking like, why do you have a bag of dirt in your room? And she threw it out, bro. I'm like, that was in my memory box. She goes, yeah, I know. Why do you have a box under your bed? Are you kidding me right now? Where's that grass at? She's like, I threw it away. And then 3 weeks after that, she puts another piece of grass in it, thinking I wasn't going to remember. I'm like, that's not the same grass.
That doesn't hold the same power. You can't get back. Like, it's only so much. You just got to, like, wait till your mom closes the door. And just, like, one of those.
Well, you do one of those. You do one of those. You cuss, but you don't say anything like.
Yeah. In your head? Oh, man, you're saying 50 of them in your head.
Right,
man.
And my friends were over at the house, so you want to cuss. You want to be like, I know she didn't thought I got that. You know, you want to say something. I didn't want to get smacked, bro.
Championship grass. You would have had that to this day.
Oh, absolutely.
At least I don't know what to say, man. That's
dope that you kept the confetti, though, man. That's something that's going to be memorable for the kids. And, that's awesome, man. That's great. With college football paying for likeness, let me ask you this. How do you see that structure happening? Do you think it's a good thing, bad thing? Me and George, we talk about it all the time, man.
I think it's a good, man. I wish, sheesh. Like I said, I was a top athlete, man. I wish it was going on during my time, I would have been straight.
Right.
But no, I think it's good, man. And we used to always, so like these t-shirts that I'm wearing right now, I remember I had Get Wilder. I came with Get Wilder coming out of high school with my clothing line, and that's when I started it. And I remember I used to get my cousin to sell my t-shirts. Like, I remember we used to go print these same everything. It was a little less, but hey, get 100 t-shirts every home game, cuz I'll break you off $100. I need you to sell my t-shirts. And I remember they shut me down. They was like, yo, you can't make money. You can't do that. I was like, yo, like, why not? Like, it's my like, I'm using my money why not?
To make the shirts, why not?
Yeah.
And I was so confused. And I remember I had to actually sit down and I had meetings about it. And they explained to me, like, you can't make money off your name. And I was like, okay, but you guys, I see a whole bunch of 32 jerseys.
Everywhere.
You guys can make money. Like, that's crazy to me. So I think it's good, man. I think it's good that these kids could actually make money off their likeness. Now it's going to be, the team with the most money, the team with the best boosters now, I guess, are just going to get all the recruits. And, now teams like Miami and teams like USC out in Cali, people want to live the superstar life. These kids, these kids are what are you, 17 years old?
17,
coming out
18, yeah.
Yeah, man.
18 coming out of high school, they all want to be, that Deion swag nowadays. That's what it's looking like. And, whatever team that can give them that life, that's pretty much, I feel like that's just where they're going to go. And all the players are going to go there now. Like the team with the most money. Is that how it works? I haven't been, like I said, I've been out the country, man. I've been lost, but is it just?
Yeah. So a little bit of what's going on right now with that is basically however popular you are in the U.S. So let's say 32 is on the shelf and it produces $100,000 in sales, small numbers, right? The player gets a percent of it, right? And that happens throughout his entire career while he's in college. Now, one of the things that we actually had Ron Mack and Drew Phillips on earlier, they were talking about just putting the funds away. So let the player earn the money for his likeness. But you imagine giving a 19-year-old a couple $1,000s.
That's what I'm saying. What about
month?
What I seen? Imagine somebody like who could we name? What's the Clemson quarterback? Like
Trevor Lawrence. You made Trevor Lawrence getting paid?
That's gonna be some M's. Or you know what I'm saying? Like that, his jerseys in Clemson. So what about like autograph signings? Because I thought
Same thing. He makes money off of all of it. So the conversation we were having was, hey, defer that money, put it away, invest it, grow it over the period of time, give it where the player has to, hey, get graduate from college, all that good stuff, and then give them something to live off of those. You want to give them the money as well, but stipend it versus, hey, here's 100 G's, go buy a boat. Imagine 19-year-old. Imagine after that LSU national championship game, Joe Burrow would have been on a boat. Joe Burrow's
on a boat somewhere
with a cigar.
Y'all gonna see your Lamborghinis in the
yeah. Meanwhile, you give them some money here and there to take care of for what they're doing, and that way, at least a 21-year-old is a lot smarter than that 18-year-old or that 19-year-old that's in college right now that's just coming into money. And then, the one thing that happens a lot too with these guys is family. All of a sudden, you got extra money in your pockets, and we're like, hey, let me borrow this, let me borrow that, and for an 18, 19-year-old, that's hard to say no to. Man. So now you got the family battles and you get all that stuff. So defer till he's 21, 22 years old.
Hard, man. That's one of the toughest things that's going to put. Don't get me wrong. I want this to happen for the kids, man, because they deserve it.
They need it. They deserve it.
And college is a freaking. If you don't come from money, college is a struggle, yo. And it's like, it sucks when you see, a coach or. Your coaches and all the people that works in the staff, they're well off. They're in like 2020 Tahoes, and you in like a $500 Toyota that you got with your Pell Grant Toyota or like a Nissan is a struggle. And then when you're trying to make ends meet, and if your parents can't pay your phone bill, you're only getting like $1,000 a month, and then your rent is $700 of that. It's hard to survive, man. So I'm definitely happy. It's also going to add. They're going to be like pro athletes at age 17, 18 years old now with the family. Because, like I said, I'm 28 now, and what I'm saying, my family doesn't really come from a lot either. Besides my father, and he's great at saying no. He's like, no, hell no. So they don't even try to ask him. They all just come to me. And man, it's tough telling your loved ones, man, especially when you grew up at some point when you lived with them, and it's going to add pressure to these kids. But I mean, to answer your question, not to get off topic, I think it's good, man. I think it's good for these kids. I think it will be great for the kids who's getting at least 6 figures, which they have to take a mandatory financial literacy class or something with, because money could also drive people into depression, and you don't want to have that at that age. You don't want to do that to these young kids. But I mean, you want to give them their money, but at the same time, just make sure they're managing.
You want to protect them. Yeah, you want to protect them.
Right. Exactly.
I'm worried. I'm more worried, and I told this to Georgia too. I'm more worried that the colleges put some kind of clause or something like, yo, you have to do all 4 years. You can't go in the draft earlier, and if you do this, you get half of whatever you make. That's what I'm worried about, because when it comes to money, you know what I'm saying, things start to change. You got to play all by the rules. So that's what I'm really worried about. Now, if you tell me the kid gets his likeness, he gets paid for the money, and that's great, and that he can leave if he's deemed, number 1 draft going into that season, and he wants to jump ship and go to the NFL, I don't think you hold anything against him. I don't want to see colleges say, well, no, you got to play 4 years to get all your money. Otherwise,
no. It should be like a season, pretty much, like per season. I feel like
each season you finish is what you're vested in for.
Right. Yep. Whatever you got, then you move on. If you want to leave at that point, you want to move on. And most guys who's leaving anyway, if they're leaving early,
they're getting paid anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna get paid anyhow. Yeah.
Now, James,
we're a whole bunch of humble professional athletes that loves to give back, and we're gonna have fun and of course get wilder.
There you go.
That's what's up, man. Hey, and trust me when I tell you, like I told you, I know you said professional athletes are going to train. If you need me to just hold the kicking football, be a placeholder.
Water bottles. I got
if you
water
want me to
bottles.
just keep the kickers together, and we'll just, because kickers, they're off on their own, doing their own stuff.
Right.
But
man, I had a long snapper I had a long snapper reach out to me and like, man, I want to get out. Like, if you need somebody snapping to your quarterbacks, like, that's how it is, man. Everybody wants to be a part, but no, I would love it, man. I would love it. Any help, like, any help helps. You know what I'm saying? Any help. Like, it's no pride in it for me. I'm not doing it for the money. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna bring in money, but I'm not doing it for the money. And I just want to be able to provide a platform. Like I retired. Like I retired to do this. I'm in my prime. Like I'm in my prime. Highest paid CFL running back, and it's football's never been about the money. If the football was about the money, I would have went to the NFL as a linebacker. But it's never been about the money for me, man. So I just want to be able to give these kids a platform, and they're loving it, man. I'm getting great feedback. They're like, I understand you guys said you guys coach kids for old TB Phil and Pop Warner, and I'm already like a mentor to a lot of these kids, and they're 4-star athletes, 3-star athletes, and 5-star athletes. Mario, he's a receiver, and they're talking to me. Hey, you were a 5-star athlete. You can relate. Like, how did you?
You know what they're going through. You know exactly what they're going through right now.
Exactly. So I mean, I'm glad I could be that. I don't know if you guys seen my Twitter. I call my new nickname now the Mr. Pipeline. I want to be the pipeline for Temple now.
And that's what's up, man. And we need more of that. We need more of the community getting behind it and building it, man. So that's awesome. So we got something for you here. You're going to laugh about this. We call this This and That. It's just a series of questions that we ask any interviewer, and they're just random questions that make you kind of think this or that, all right?
About life.
So on This and That, these are just questions, and they're going to get to know James Wilder a little bit closer with this one, man. And it's nothing too crazy. I'm going to hit you with the first one. You're an athlete. What do you prefer, Adidas, Nike, or Under Armour cleats?
Nike.
Oh, yeah. Booby Miles style, right? Is that what it is?
I would do it when on my feet.
Yeah,
exactly. Out of flip-flops.
Exactly, man.
All right, so this next one I got for you, I'm going to take you to the breakfast. I'm going to take you into the morning. You get up, you go eat some breakfast. Is cereal a soup?
Oh, cereal or soup? Do people eat soup?
Is it a soup? Is it considered a soup? Is it the same soup category?
Oh, is cereal considered a soup?
Yeah.
I never thought about that. I mean, yeah, because I mean you're eating, and then when you eat soup, you eat the soup and then you drink the
broth, right? You drink the broth of it.
Right. Yeah, because I'm not gonna lie, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm in shape and I eat healthy, but I mean, I'm gonna, like, if I'm not eating eggs, you know what I'm saying, my a big breakfast, I mean, it's the cereal. And I mean, the milk, I mean, we would get, my mom would get pissed. I remember, I know I'm getting off topic, I'm sorry. My mom would get pissed if I get caught like flushing the milk down the toilet.
Oh no, that'd be the end of it.
And then she goes to the bathroom and, come here, James, come here, and bring me to the bathroom, and like one of the Fruit Loops came back up. Oh man, I'll get in trouble, man. You know what I'm saying? So we had to drink the milk, but now I love it, man. Yeah, no, it is a soup. I guess it is a soup. I would say that.
That's funny, man. Are you an iPhone or Android guy?
iPhone for easy.
Yeah,
iPhone.
easy.
Listen, there's some psychopaths out here, okay? Because there's every D1 athlete we've interviewed, all iPhones, all major athletes, iPhones. And I'm like, yeah, what does your parents have? And they're like, oh, they have Android. I'm like,
yep.
Are they trying to relive the golden years or?
And you can't FaceTime. You got to download like WhatsApp to FaceTime. You can't send a video. It's going to look like 19, you know, like a Nokia phone. Like
well, you got to open up 17 tasks to get to one app. And I'm like, yo, I don't know what's going on with these things.
Wait, man, they not seeing Apple. That's weird. That's weird.
This next one I got for you, and I know you were a running back and grew up as a linebacker as well. But if you had a choice, you can be a Hall of Fame kicker or an all-star tight end. Which one you going with?
A Hall of Fame kicker or an all-star tight end? Man, I'm sorry. I'll have to go with all-star tight end because.
Oh,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Because Hall of Fame kicker, like, yeah, you want to be in the Hall of Fame, but like you get like 6 plays a game. Like that's like that's not fun. I mean, you're in the Hall of Fame, but like I said, I've never been in it for like the fame. So I might just, you know what I'm saying? I like the football. So I mean, if you're kicking, and I'm not dissing kickers, like shout out to the kickers because they change games, but
they do.
I like to, you know what I'm saying? I need more than 6 or 7 plays.
So the biggest response to this one has been because of the longevity. Like, yeah, I'll be a kicker. I'll kick for 35, 40 years. I'll kick till my leg comes off when I'm 60.
Well, remember when Vinatieri had freaking complete white hair for the Colts, and I couldn't tell if he had his helmet on or off sometimes. Because he's still kicking.
Dude's old, man, but booing it though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Though, like it's one of those. I mean, it's not like a quarterback where, you know, your arm's gonna get, you know what I'm saying, tired, or running back where you get banged up. I mean, you keep stretching and you could do it forever till you're ready to quit. I mean, or until you start missing field goals and get cut.
And then get cut.
Well, the last question for you, you're of course great running back, man. We got to end this, maybe not a debate. I don't want to go too far into it, but I got to give you this question, okay? Who was the better running back? Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith? This is a constant battle me and George have all the time.
We have this conversation in the locker room every time, and I'm not going to do it how we do in the locker room because after practice, I'll be in the locker room for an extra hour. But I gotta listen, man. I'm sorry. Better, my opinion. I gotta say Barry because Emmitt Smith whole line was Pro Bowl. I'm not taking anything away from Emmitt Smith, but look what Barry was doing. The same thing Emmitt was doing with
no line,
with no like. Really go back and like take 15 minutes to go back and look at Barry Sanders' O-line and team. Period. Offense. Period. Versus Emmitt Smith. Everybody on Emmitt Smith's O-line went to the freaking Pro Bowl every year.
People forget that his quarterback was Scotty Mitchell. Like, people forget about Scotty. Left-handed Scotty Mitchell, man, was his freaking starting quarterback for years. And the O-line for 30 for 30 used to say how much they hated Scotty Mitchell. So they wouldn't even block for him. And you got and Scotty's changing plays to hand the ball off to Barry. And God bless. I agree with you, man. Barry Sanders is the man for me.
I got a funny story. My dad, so my dad was going out to Detroit after the Bucks. His career was late in his career, 1990, Detroit. And he was like, man, I wasn't going to be smacking people. So he's older now. Obviously, he was that 6'3". You know what I'm saying? My pops was 6'3", 225. And they were working him at fullback. So he's going to run in and give everything he got and smack somebody in the A-gap.
Oh, man.
Barry Sanders way over there, not even following him. He said that's when he knew it was time to retire.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And the difference between Barry Sanders and Emmitt Smith made his first cut 4 yards down the line of scrimmage already. because the hole was so open. Barry was making these cuts 4 yards in the backfield because everybody got through on the initial snap. He had to make those dudes miss from the very get-go.
3 cuts just to get the line of scrimmage, and Emmitt Smith is not touched till at least 6 yards downfield. Like I said, I went to church with Emmitt Smith in Texas at the Potter House, and he still looks great. But I'm not taking anything away from Emmitt, because Emmitt is a beast. But if in my opinion, if I had to say the two, we haven't seen. I feel like we've seen some people that could be Emmitt Smiths maybe since then. We haven't seen a Barry Sanders yet. I mean, we've seen some people who has flashes of Barry Sanders, but not just a whole Barry Sanders. No.
I totally agree with you, man. I appreciate you joining us on This and That, man. So, man, I know we took up a lot of your time, man. I know you're a busy man. I know you're a family man. So I'm not going to hold you up too much, man. But I really appreciate you coming on the show and talking with us. And anytime you want to talk about whatever you want, this is your platform, your podcast as well, your radio show. We'll fire up and we'll throw it up on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes. We'll put it out there, man. So whenever you want to join again, man, it's up to you. We might have to do a FSU reunion. You know what I mean?
Man, we could do that. I was going to say we could do that, man. We could do... like I said, I got all these kids now. We could bring all the kids that
Absolutely.
I'm training and just shoot the, you know what I'm saying? Just chill, a little kickback, you know what I'm saying? A little kickback talk with these young athletes. I'm sure they'll love it. Everybody's freaking quarantining. Like, there's nothing else to do. Like, I mean, I don't see why not. I mean, I'll be up for it. If you guys want to bring me back, I loved it. I have fun.
Absolutely.
Like you said, I mean, the kids are quiet in the other room. I am scared to open my door and see
What's going on the other side?
Right, I'm scared to see what's going on over there. But yeah, no, man, I definitely appreciate you guys. I'll definitely shoot you over my email. I would love to come back on the show, man. I really had fun. I didn't even notice we were on for an hour. That's how much fun I've been having. I mean, what we just did anyway is what I do with my homies on FaceTime anyway. So it's good to be able to sit back and talk sports and hang out, and nice to meet you guys, and have you guys have my back and push me, man. I appreciate the platform.
Anytime, man. Anytime, boss. You be safe and take care of your family, all right, man?
Most definitely. You too. Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Go Noles.
I got you, man. I got you right here. I got you, man. You be safe, all right, boss?
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, man.
All right, talk soon.
On the Clock fans, man, that was James Wilder Jr. You don't get much better than that. A Tampa legend. You got to check him out. You got an athlete. He's the one you want to go to. Please check him out, man. What a great show.
Yeah, and don't forget, if you want to find us on social media, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram by searching On The Clock Radio. You can send us an email to ontheclock20@gmail.com. Visit our website, otcsportstalk.com, and we have limited spots left on our fantasy football league. If you're interested in doing that, go ahead and hit us up and let us know that you are interested in going in there. We have about 3-4 spots left in, so go ahead and claim your spot. Until next time, you're On The Clock.